I'm just back from seeing John Wick Chapter 2, and it is awesome. This movie is fantastic. When the first John Wick came out, it was a sleeper hit, and it took everybody by storm. I remember seeing the trailer and seeing Keanu Reeves go on a killing spree because his puppy was killed and his car was stolen. But it is awesome. It is really a layered kind of movie. Not the cleverest or smartest movie in the world, but it's definitely something that is entertaining and that has its own kind of mythology. And more of this is explored in John Wick Chapter 2. Essentially, Keanu Reeves is dragged into a kind of situation that's out of his control. He owes a debt to an old colleague, and he has to take on an organization known as the High Table. There is a fantastic cast. Some of your old favourites are back. Winston, the owner of the Continental, returns, played fantastically by Ian McShane. You have Lance Reddick as the concierge, who's brilliant as always. John Leguizamo makes a brief return as the mechanic who's good friends with John, and it layers the characters. There is this kind of entire world that everyone has to has their place in. More characters are introduced. You have Ruby Rose as the bodyguard, the mute bodyguard of the main bad guy, who I was kind of a bit disappointed with. Common turns up as Cassian, a kind of John Wick-esque bodyguard. That's a cool thing. One thing I liked with this movie was that John wasn't just plowing through kind of nameless goons. These characters were his kind of equals. There was a bit of jeopardy. For the first movie, I just think it was cool. I loved it. But I never really felt John was in too much danger. In this, I did, because he was up against people of his own equal skill. Other characters were fantastic. Peter Serafinowicz turns up as this kind of gun connoisseur. He was brilliant. Who else? Lawrence Fishburne was awesome as this almost homeless kingpin who's incredibly dangerous and has history with John Wick. I'm not going to go too much into the plot because I don't want to spoil it. As I said before, it shows that there is continental hotels all over the world. There is a one in Rome, and Winston's kind of Roman equivalent is Franco Nero, who is he's if you don't know who Franco Nero is, he was like a spaghetti western legend in the 60s and 70s. He's the Winston's equivalent over there, and he's really funny. One of the questions he asks John when he turns up. But yeah, it is a fantastically layered movie. It does feel, it's very comic book-esque. It's probably one of the best comic book movies that doesn't happen to be based on a comic book. Other things I liked about the movie is it is fantastically shot. The set pieces are beautiful. The scope is much grander. Even with the plot though, John isn't just fighting goons. He has to go to other locations to do a mission, and he goes to Rome. He goes to different very kind of exotic locations, and there is one really cool kind of fight in a hall of mirrors that I think was fantastic. It's probably one of the best action set pieces I've seen in a long while. If I had to have any criticism about the movie, it is a tad too long. It runs about 2 hours, 2 minutes. I think you could knock 10, 15 minutes off it, and it wouldn't really affect it that much. And last but not least, the main star himself, the titular John Wick, Keanu Reeves, is awesome. You genuinely believe that he is like this trained killer, and he is this formidable. When he kills, he does it with such grace and ease. He's just, everything is almost muscle memory to him, and you thoroughly believe that he is this kind of hitman that just wants out. He doesn't want any more of this, and he's dragged back in. Another cool thing I liked was the gunfights. I think with a lot of movies, the gunfights, it's just bang, 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 bang. With this, there's weight to it. There's punch. Every time someone's shot, there's punch to it. It's just a bang, bang. It's bang. It's just, you feel the impact of every bullet. You feel the ejection of every round. It is awesome. The only time I think I've seen like a gunfight where the weapon discharge and the weapon impacting on a person was that kind of effective was in Michael Mann's Heat. But this is the same. Just when someone gets shot, you feel it. When a weapon goes off, it sounds like you're in the room. The sound quality of this is fantastic. There's a very dubsteppy kind of modern soundtrack to this movie, which is awesome and really lends its tone to the world and the vibe of the movie. If you are an action fan, definitely check this out. It does help if you've seen John Wick, the first John Wick, but if you're not, they kind of update you in the opening scene. They kind of give you a bit of an update on what's going on. I think the movie itself opens up not long after the end of the first movie. So yeah, John Wick, awesome action movie. If you're a fan of cool action, definitely check it out. Keanu Reeves kicks ass. Some of the rest of the cast are awesome. And yeah, it's a beautiful looking movie, and it's probably one of the best comic book movies or comic book feeling movies that's not based on a comic book. My name's Martin. This is the Trash Picture Show. Like, subscribe, and have a good one. Take care. Bye now.